Did you know that the reason why comic book fans can get so passionate and crazy over changes in comics can be scientifically proven? According to professors Travis Langley and Louise Krasinski, thank you, John Krasinski, they say that comic fan outrage is due to mental maps that have been built in our heads. And before we get into it, I want to let you know that my own comic/manga, The Girl with the Megafist Volume 1, the epic 200-page tale of Eliana, the girl with the Megafist, is currently on pre-order on Kickstarter, link in the description. We'll see you February 16th. Also, we'll talk more about this book at the end of the video. Okay, let's get into this. Alright guys, we're showing our face, we're drawing a page of the girl with the Megafist, even though the book is 100% completed. Let's do this. So, Games Radar just came out with this piece called, they didn't come out with it, it's old, but it says Comic Fan Outrage, it's part of being human, scientists say. Okay, and Professor Langley, he says that the process of becoming familiar with a certain character is like making a mental map. In our heads, we have our own versions of these characters and stories, our mental maps of them. And when writers and companies make characters that don't fit our mental maps, it can be jarring to us. We either have to alter our maps or reject the new information so we can keep our maps the same. So you can see this currently with fans. You know, whenever DC and Marvel come out with a character and they, you know, it's a beloved character, one that we've known has been straight forever, and then all of a sudden we find out Tim Drake is gay, John Kent is gay, everyone currently in the Marvel and DC universe is gay. But the point is, when they make such changes, because we, you know, hardcore comic book fans who have been reading these stories, you know, knowing that these characters that they love are straight, and all of a sudden they're now completely changed, that can really, you know, according to science, that can really jack someone up mentally and piss them off, and it's science, man. Science explains this, okay? It continues in the article. As Langley explains, changes to major characters may be the publisher's attempt to attract new fans and bring some lapsed fans back. But the changes required longtime fans to rewrite their mental map of that character, which some of them reject because, you know, maybe we don't believe that the changes are good. And when those publishers acknowledge or even bring back the circumstances of the pre-existed mental map, fans react positively. So what this means is, like, for example, Superman in the New 52 wasn't very loved. The sales weren't very good on that book, and I think it's because during the New 52 they did a lot of experiments with the character of Superman, but then they brought back the original Superman from the pre-New 52, and then when they did Superman Rebirth with Patrick Gleason and Peter J. Tomasi, and Superman is this nice family man, he has Lois Lane, he has a son that he's raising, they're living on the farm. People loved this series, and old fans came back to that series. It became one of the best-selling Rebirth series. And then Brian Michael Bendis came in and just tanked all of that. And then old fans rejected it because I guess Brian Michael Bendis was trying to get new fans. But regardless, you know, that's why the outrage comes, because all of these changes, and it's hard because they want to appease old fans and new fans. How do you do this? Do you create them in separate universes like they did with the Marvels? They have the Ultimate Universe. Like, is that how you do it? I don't know. Professor Louise Krasinski, and I'm so sorry I'm getting your name terribly wrong, says the sense of ownership that comic fans feel toward their favorite characters is not unique to them. In fact, it's part of being a human being. This ownership or commitment to the universe that the fandom is built around is what humans do, she says. We create these kinds of ties to real or fictional worlds because that is how we make sense of the world. These commitments help us categorize and judge everything around us. It is amazing how much fictional universes can influence the everyday world. This is interesting because it's true. What's amazing about comics in general is that you can read a story and you can make sense of the real world through these fictional stories. And I mean, that's what fictional storytelling does, is it helps you make sense of the world. But when the stories that are happening in these fictional worlds are so bleak and dim and terrible, it almost makes you wonder, man, the real world is just as bad. You know, like if you are someone who's very pro-American and you are like, man, I love America, I love what America stands for, and then all of a sudden now Superman, you know, says that he wants to revoke his American citizenship and he wants to take away the motto truth, justice, and the American way. You start to go, oh my gosh, is America really that bad? Everyone's telling me America's bad. I don't think America's bad, but now Superman's bad. Is Superman bad? I don't know. So like and then because of that, a character that you really related to in Superman is now like against what you've been believing all the. It's like losing a best friend. So I can understand where the outrage comes from, and Louise Krasnowich says that this is normal. It's science. And finally, we have to talk about the internet. And I'm really glad they brought it up in this article. Professor Langley has this to say in terms of like, you know, Twitter and the internet, and just, you know, when, you know, you get a screenshot of a page and all of a sudden people get really mad. He says, the anonymity is a two-edged sword. It can give people the freedom to share good things they might otherwise not have, but the good stuff isn't what we tend to conceal. The negative things, those can be unleashed. One thing I've noticed on both sides of the argument in comics is that we tend to share pages of comics that none of us actually read. So when you had comics like the Superman red, white, and white and blue, you know, and everyone's like, Superman got raped. Ah! Most people didn't even actually read that comic, but they got outraged on it. Like, I didn't read the comic, I didn't buy it, but then they got outraged on it, and you were just given one page. You weren't even, you know, given a bunch of context. And I think that is one problem with the Twitter online comics world, is that we don't do a lot of sharing of the comics that we like. Like, one thing I'm trying to do with this channel is make videos that are like, hey, you should read this book, you should read this comic, this webtoon, this webcomic, this manga, because we focus so much on the bad, and we focus so much on the bad on books that we don't even read. It's very hypocritical in my opinion. If you don't like that book, just don't read it. If you think that that page is trash, but you didn't read it, you know, don't really have an opinion on it without context. I mean, that's me personally. That's how I feel. Instead, how about you share something that you like reading? I don't know. That's what I think that you should do going forward. But that's just me. But I understand. Listen, Batman's my favorite character, and when Tom King turned Batman into something that I was like, that's not Batman, I got pissed and I dropped the book, and I haven't picked it up since. Well, I tried again with the Joker War, but then I got burned. So I understand where people are coming from. I do. But choose happiness over outrage, please, because at the end of the day, like, what's it gonna, like, what's gonna happen? What are you gonna do? Like, you get outraged, it's just over. And here's the thing, you know, I get pissed off at some things, but you know, I need to do better as well. I'm not saying I'm perfect. There's a lot of good things in comics. Let's focus on those things. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. The Girl with the Mega Fist, Volume 1, a 200-page epic tale, comes out February 16th on Kickstarter. I'm so excited for this book. The only people that have read it so far are my Patreons. Thank you so much to my Patreons who make it possible for me to make comic books. They get early access, and because of their support, I'm able to make these videos. So if you want to be a Patreon, link in the description. If you want to sign up for this Kickstarter and get notified on when we launch, hit the link in the description. It means the world to me that for you to at least just check my Kickstarter out. The Girl with the Mega Fist is the epic tale of Eliana as she embarks on a journey. She's the chosen hero by the Mega Gods, but she also has a responsibility to choose a partner who has been chosen by the Almighty Gods, and it just so happens that the Almighty Gods have chosen two twin brothers, and she has to pick one to partner with. Who will she choose? The one that is most powerful, or the one who has her heart. This is an epic tale. We're going to do several volumes of this story, and I'm just so excited to get this out to you guys. So you guys have a great day. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Peace.